Come on.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey.
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 Yeah.
Y'all know what time it is. What's happening?
Hey. Come on.
Hey.
Why?
Hey.
Why?
Yo,
'Cause
it's the iBall Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Let's go. Come on in, everybody.
Come on. Hey.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in.
Come on.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in.
Come on.
Come on in, everybody. Why?
Why?
Because it's the
iBall
iBall
Live.
Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Get it? It's the iBall Live. Let's go. Yeah. What up, what up, what up? And welcome to another episode of the iBall Live, iBall Radio Live call-in show right here on iBallRadio.com, the iBall Radio YouTube page, and of course, streaming live right here on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. Get us wherever you can get us. I'm D. Will, the coach, also known as Derek Williams.
Yeah, man.
And I'm here with my guy, producer extraordinaire on the ones and twos, Breezy in the building. What up, Breezy?
What's good?
Yes, sir, man. Everything's good, man. Another day, another dollar inside the iBall Radio studios here live in Montgomery, Alabama. And man, guess what, Breezy?
What's that?
Tonight is the last night of high school basketball. The last night of the regular season wraps up tonight. We might pull up some games if we got time. We're a little late coming on tonight. And I put out there a post. The reason we are late coming on tonight because UNCW did just get through dismantling North Carolina A&T, man. Had to watch Greedy and his guys get it in. He played a very good basketball game. Another 6-6 basketball game. He did have 2 turnovers tonight. He had those early in the game, though. You know, a lot of times turnovers aren't their fault, but they get equated to you, so you got to take them on the chin. But played a real good basketball game. I think he had 7 and 6, 3 rebounds, something like that. So really good, efficient game. Like I say, it was a blowout. So, but what up, people? What up, chat?
What up, chat?
Got a lot to talk about tonight, man. And I'm gonna wait till everybody get in here. But the elephant in the room, man. I would say is a viral video. Well, no, I hit the ant for me.
Run that.
Yeah, hit the ant for me. Yeah, you got the ant. Oh man, I thought we had the ant because it's a non-viral video. It probably should have went viral, but it hasn't. Right? Let's say it like that. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, man. A little incident between Gunnersville and Albertville to end out their area play just the other night. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was on Tuesday night. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, our thoughts on it, and things of that nature. Also, man, we're gonna talk a little about now, Breezy. It's some else because we're not gonna be here long tonight. Okay, we're not gonna be here too long tonight. We got some stuff to get knocked out at this weekend. So we're not gonna be here long. We're gonna chat it up a little bit. But it is something else I wanted to talk to y'all about. And let me pull it up real quick. Because it's everything we talk about, Breeze, is worthy of talking about.
Hey man, everything got value.
You know what I'm saying? Everything got value. It just depends on when do we actually want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about something tonight though. And with it being the end of the regular season tonight, right? And area tournaments beginning on tomorrow. We're gonna go through some of those area matchups, but it's something I want to talk about, bro. And I don't get this part of the game. And I understand situations and things happen, right? Situations and things happen. However, you are allotted 30 games to play in high school basketball in the state of Alabama, right? You can play 30 basketball games. So with 30 basketball games being allotted to play, you should be playing every single basketball game you possibly can.
Yeah, for sure.
You should be scheduling 30 games. Yeah. If you can play 30, schedule 30. Now, I get it, man. Circumstances happen. Games are dropped. Rescheduling needs to happen. Especially in the beginning of the basketball season. Football season is still going on. A lot of teams make it to deep into the playoffs. So a lot of those teams don't start playing till later. So that kind of affects their schedule, right? And so I get all of that stuff. But however, if you are a basketball program and majority of your players are basketball players, meaning they're not two-sport guys. If they're not two-sport, bro, you need to be playing every single game you possibly can. If you got 30, play 30. Like, I see some teams out there, bro, playing 23, 24 games. You're missing 7 games.
Yeah, you need all that.
You need all of that experience if you look to make a deep run in the playoffs, because it all comes into, it's all relevant, right? Like, playing more games gives you more experience, right? So my point is, even in the beginning of the season, if you don't have your full allotment of players, with the guys that you do have, if you can field the team, you need to play.
Right.
Who cares if you get beat, right? Those wins and losses, there are area games. So those wins and losses don't affect you when it comes to the nitty-gritty, which is right now, which is playoff time. So play the games, get the experience. If nothing else, you're getting a group of young guys who don't play as much or who won't play as much during the basketball season. You're getting them early experience. They're giving them an opportunity to play. Even if you got to bring up some JV guys to play varsity to get that experience, man, stop not playing your full allotment of games. I'm going to tell you what it equates to, Breezy.
What's that?
Duck and smoke.
Yeah. Tell it.
Ducking smoke.
Tell it.
You're not playing all your games because you don't want to go out and play anybody. You're only trying to play the teams in your area, the teams around you. And that's the reason it's not enough games around you to play quality basketball.
But they duck and smoke.
They duck and smoke, bro. If you hadn't played 30 games, you duck and smoke. Now, everybody gonna, oh, we had this going, we had this, excuses. They like what? Everybody got one. You feel me?
That's all it is.
That's all it is, man. If that's the case, and play games, schedule more. Play 3 games in a week. Play 4 games in 5 days. Play 6 games in 8 days. Who cares? Like, I heard somebody tell me one time, man, oh man, my guy's gonna be tired. They're gonna be real. They 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I'm not saying they don't need ample rest.
Of course not.
But that rest can be gotten on a whole nother level. You can get that on a whole nother level. But what you can't get is game experience. Playing up under that whistle as much as you possibly can, in my opinion, matters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It matters, bro.
It definitely matters.
And these teams out here not playing. Look, he don't even know. I hadn't hooked it up yet. I hadn't hooked it up. I forgot to hook up the Bluetooth. Let me hook up the Bluetooth, y'all, then I got you.
So if they don't play the full 30 games, then they just have to forfeit, or
no, they just don't play.
So they just ain't on their schedule.
They only played 26 games this year. He only played 24 games this season. You know what I mean?
So there's no way they can be ranked at a certain.
It doesn't matter at all. You know, it don't affect anything. It has no effect on anything. It's just you didn't play all your games. You spent a lot of time practicing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like games matter. Like when we were at Lanier, we scheduled 30 games. Like we might even got in 31, 32. You know what I'm saying? Like we were trying to get as many games as we possibly could.
Yeah, you need them reps.
Yeah, man, reps matter. Reps matter.
Gotta have them reps.
Get the Bluetooth hooked up here. All right.
They calling already?
Yeah, well, it's he probably don't even know what's going on. But see if I can get him on.
It's the iBall Live.
iBall Live.
Get it? Got it good.
Okay, something ain't right. I don't know if the Bluetooth work. I don't know. Yeah, the Bluetooth keep disconnecting. Come on, connect Bluetooth.
Sometimes it might need a reboot.
Yep. Oh, yeah, something going on. Because it's going connected, then it's disconnecting. Let me disconnect something else. Nothing else is connected except my watch. What up? Oh, man, why we doing that? I'm sorry, man. What up, chat?
What up, chat? What up, world?
Who's taking it all this year for boys and girls? You got it. In what classification? 334. Caleb, what classification you talking? You tell me what classification, I probably got an answer for you. I got an answer for you if you're talking, ask me the classification. Looks like we're having issues with the phone line tonight, y'all. Don't want to connect. Let me see if I could connect. Well, Yeah, because I'm not letting y'all call my personal number. Y'all gonna have to. I don't know what's. Should I forget it and reconnect it, Breezy?
Probably just give it a shot to say you did it.
Yeah, just say we did it. Just say we gave y'all a. I'm gonna tell y'all. They know we finna get so hot up in here tonight that and this dude keep calling, man. I hit him in a second. So let's see if the Bluetooth is working on the board, Breezy. Go to the Bluetooth on the board and see, because it's not coming up for me. All right, quick. Hey, what up, people? Y'all get 7A. 7A, I'm going Hoover. Girls, I'm going Hoover. Yeah. Well, I like Bob Jones too. I like Bob Jones. Bob Jones looked good to me too. So girls is gonna be between Hoover and Bob Jones, in my opinion. On live, I'm here. Trying to get this talk to her.
Yeah, they trying to get the Bluetooth hooked up. One momento. Just getting a little bit of straightening. That's all.
There we go.
Back on.
Sir.
Back on.
We up. We up. We back. Ooh, 334. Caleb say he taking Huntsville boys. Just moved up there for college from Dothan. So he said he taking Hunts. Listen, I like Huntsville High. Y'all know I like Huntsville High. But they gotta meet Hoover in Jacksonville. And until somebody beats Hoover, I think they're 29-0 on the season. Until somebody beat them, back-to-back state champs, undefeated on the season. They'd have been to Kentucky, they'd have been to Alaska, they'd have been everywhere, and they have yet to lose a basketball game. So and the crazy part about it, Huntsville High should be 29, going for 30-0 tonight, right? But they lost to Bob Jones in the Huntsville City Classic in a thriller of a game. So that was almost a two undefeated teams meeting in a regional.
Yeah, that would have
in Jacksonville.
That's major.
That would have been major. That would have been the game of the year. And it's still gonna be the game of the year, in my opinion. In my opinion, I still think it's gonna be that. But let's call Chill Will back. He's in North Carolina, just got done watching Greedy. Let's call him back. He called me 17 times.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
And then you got to call. If anybody know, you got to call Chill Will twice. You got to call him twice.
Like knocking on the door with a code.
Like knocking on the door with a code, God.
Hey,
Yo, what's up, man?
I'm on the GPS trying to get right. I'll call you right back.
All right, you on live, so call us back.
Okay.
All right. I hate I call him because they might be in Timbuktu, North Carolina, with him driving, trying to follow a GPS.
Dang.
Bryant and Northridge. Who you think going to win that 6A area out of Tuscaloosa? Bryant and Northridge. I like Paul Bryant. I like that 2027 kid from Paul Bryant. The 6'7" kid. His name's slipping my mind right now, but I really like him. He can play. He got good size. Let me look his name up. If the chat, y'all know who I'm talking about. The kid from Bryant High School, 2027, about 6'7", had a nasty poster the other night. Yeah, Bird. That's him. I really like that kid. He can play. Got good size. Good coordination for a young kid to be that big. You know what I mean? So I like Bryant. I like Coach Peck Love. You know what I'm saying? He has a state championship. Northridge, I'm not gonna sleep on Northridge though. I've watched them. How many times? We didn't watch Northridge a couple times.
Yeah,
we didn't watch them a couple of times this season. And Anderson Wilkin is their guy over there. And he can really shoot it. He can play. He's a senior. I feel like Anderson's been at Northridge for 20 years. Like, don't you know how sometimes when you're going through the game, there's some guys that are there and you be like, man, they've been there forever, right? Anderson Wilkins probably been starting since he was in the 9th grade, probably been playing varsity since the 8th. So it seems like he's been there forever. But like I say, I really like that Bryant team. That Bryant team is a little younger, right? They're a little younger. So that Northridge team is senior laden. They got some senior leadership on that basketball team. So I'm going to pick Bryant to come out of that 6A Tuscaloosa area, but that's a really tough area. I really like that. I like Huffman over Mountain Brook. Another question was in the area Huffman or Mountain Brook. I like Huffman over Mountain Brook. The thing is, they split this year. Huffman wanted Huffman, Mountain Brook wanted Mountain Brook. But both games, if I'm not mistaken, were really low-scoring games, right? Really low-scoring games. I know the last game that was at Huffman, Mountain Brook was only able to score 22 points in the whole game, right? So I'm liking the Huffman in that. And I just think Peanut is that good, right? I really think Peanut and Kevon Walker is, has some size. He's been playing extremely well all season long. I just like Peanut to lead that team somewhere this year.
Right.
I like them getting to Birmingham.
Yeah.
I like Huffman getting to Birmingham. Huffman is a team that is a staple in Birmingham, right? They won a state championship, if I'm not mistaken, just a couple of years ago in 2021. I think they won it then, either 2021 or, yeah, it was 2021. 2020 or 2021. I know one of those years they won a state championship here recently. So they're a team, and they've been to another Final Four since then. So that team is a team who's used to getting to Birmingham. And since they're used to getting to Birmingham, I really like them. And I don't know, that sounds crazy when we say competing or comparing them to a Mountain Brook, right? Mountain Brook, who's played in the last 2 6A state championship games and lost to Buckhorn both years. Right. So that's and we know their pedigree on state championships and winning them, and they run Birmingham. Right. So I get what I'm saying. Probably doesn't make a lot of sense to everybody. But in this particular year, I'm liking Huffman's experience over Mountain Brook's because I like Peanut, and he's a senior and he leads that basketball team. And Mountain Brook doesn't have that juggernaut of a player or that juggernaut of a senior leadership. Trey Davis is a junior, plays very well, and that team just plays good with all the parts that they have. But like I say, I like Huffman this year.
All right.
Yeah, and like I say, I agree, Coach Harvey. Yeah, it's Harvey in the chat. Mountain Brook either going for 80 or they're going for 30. That's how they play, man. They're gonna be really good, or they're gonna be they're gonna struggle really bad. One or the other. Henson and Clay. Woo! Yeah. I'm gonna tell you like this. I love what Coach Richardson has done at Clay this year. They've had a really good year. They end up winning that area. Henson came in second. But who do I like in that area? Penton and Clay. Now, I rank Clay ahead of Penton all season long. I watched both games. The crazy part about it, I'm glad you asked me this. I actually watched the Penton game this morning. The Penton Clay game that just happened this week, that Penton won at Penton Valley. I watched that game this morning, right? And I get it. Clay was missing some players, but I also watched the game that they played last week at Clay Chalkville. And that was a thrill of a game, if I'm not mistaken. It went in overtime. And I think your boy went for 31. Devin went for 31. He was on fire. I think he had 8 threes in that game. It came down to a last-second shot. And, Breeze, I think we might have watched that one on air. It came down to a last-second shot, and Quay missed the shot from the wing that could have won it.
Oh, yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So my thing is, it's not like it's much separation between those two basketball teams. They're really close. Now, I've been saying all year I love Clay's size over Penson, right? Because Penson doesn't even attempt jump balls. If you watch them this season, they don't even attempt jump balls at the beginning of the game. They just put somebody in the circle and they just stand there. They might listen, when they played Clay yesterday, they had Quay, or 2 days ago, they had Quay jumping at the middle. Quay 5'9", right? So they don't even attempt because they know they lack size, right? So I've said all year that I like Clay's size over Penton. But I also have said how Clay's lack of a point guard and pace settler concerns me. And we know Henson is loaded with guard play in Wu, who is Austin Connor, Quay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and in my opinion, Wu is probably the best. When they're on the court, Wu's probably the best player on the court. I love Devin McKinnon. I love Victor, right? But when those two teams on the court, I would say Wu is the best player out of that group, right? And I know I'm trying. I'm taking a long time. All right, because I like who I'm gonna have to go Penton. I'm gonna go Penton. Yeah, listen. I'm going Penton. So yes.
There it is.
I'm going Penton. I'm going Penton. Yeah. 2025. All right, let's go, man. I got some questions in the chat. What up, chat? Let's talk class of 2025, 2026. Done with this topic. Okay. Let me start with Simon Walker would be the best out of 2025. Diggy Coleman out of 2026. I tend to agree with that. I don't know about Simon out of 2025. Got number one. I got Diggy number two right now in that class, but you got to think of it's a lot of other guys. You got to Gage Mayfield in that class, who is really, really looking like one of the top players in that class. You got Jacoby Sharp in that class down at Gadsden City, who has, and I can go on and on and on naming names. You got Jay Green, right, who is leading Ramsey to what it looks like they're finna make a deep run in the playoffs, right? So it's a lot of guys in that 2026 class, but in my opinion, Jalen Alexander, yeah, I would say even MJ Jones, down in Fairfield. But yeah, Jalen Alexander or Diggy Coleman. I would go, you know, I would go Jalen number one right now and put Diggy two. But those in my opinion are the top two players in that class. And then, Gage Mayfield, Quay. It's a lot of guys. That 2026 class is stacked. I agree. Now, I guess that's walk_off.2. I agree. If Wu doesn't start cramping in that first Clay Chalkford game, remember, he was killing them, and then he started cramping it midway through the third quarter.
Yep.
And then he didn't finish the game. And I think that I think that game went into overtime. If it didn't, I know in the fourth quarter it came down and Wu was not available. He was out there, but he wasn't who he had been the whole game because he was killing in that game. And I agree. I think if Wu stays healthy and doesn't cramp up that game, I think they win that basketball game.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do think they win that basketball game. I would tend to have to agree with that. If Wu doesn't get get cramps.
Yeah, cause he was cooking.
He was cooking, bro.
He was cooking.
He was cooking. So yeah, I like I'm gonna go Penton. I like Clay Chalkville a whole lot. And when you get on that big court and in the regionals and you gotta see a team, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I think they had Wallace Hansfield, if I'm not mistaken. I think that that region is at Wallace Hansfield. So who disconnected? Yeah, Penson is starting to play a lot better defense. I agree. Coach Barber has those guys with their lack of size. He has them extremely competitive, right? And they're extremely competitive, even though they got that lack of size.
You know what he's doing?
And here's the thing. Okay, Braylon Patton. If I was to do a lottery ranking right now for the class of 2025, and I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do a 2025 lottery ranking. And I'm gonna do way more than just the 14. I'm gonna do it all the way through the class because this class is so deep. And when it comes to Braylon, as I do those rankings, and here's the thing, I got rankings done. Like they're done for the class 2025. I had rankings done at the beginning of the season, right? And I just decided not to drop them. It's just because we working on some other stuff, and I just didn't want to drop them, right? So I got them. And in my last edition of my rankings, if I'm not mistaken, I think I had Braylon at 16. He was 2 spots right outside the lottery, right? And I've said this 100 times that it was going to be guys that signed Division I college scholarships in the class of 2025 that I would have in the 20s, right? I mean, 25, 26, because the class is so freaking deep, right? It's so deep from top to bottom that it was going to be guys that signed Division I college scholarships in this season coming straight out of high school who are going to be in the 20s, who are going to be in the late teens, just because that's how deep the class is, because it's upwards of 20 plus guys that have already signed Division I college scholarships in this class. So it's a lot of D1 signees. It's a lot of D2 signees. It's a lot of high major JUCO signees in this class that have been balling out this season, like Bryson Berry. Bryson Berry's signed with high major. He signed with Chipola. He's going JUCO next year. However, he's one of the best players in the state of Alabama, hands down, right? If you're watching basketball this year, Bryson Berry at Dothan is one of the best players in the class of 2025. Will he make the lottery? That's tough. Devin Barksdale, he's a guy who's uncommitted in the class of 2025. Will he make the lottery? Right? He's a guy who's always been in that 7, 8, 9 area. Since we've dropped the 2025 lotteries, since its inception, he's always been in there. Will he be in there again? Because it's guys like Braylon Patton. It's guys like Bryson Berry. It's guys like Devin Barksdale. Those type of guys are all in that same wheelhouse to me. It's guys like a JD Gossett. I would have him in there. I'm just going to go and tell you, JD Gossett will be in the 14. Easy, right? Okay? But Eli Stapler, all those who's going high major D2 going to Lee from Huntsville High. Like those guys, it is a lot of guys in that category and bunch, in my opinion, that will make up that. Woo is in that. You got to put Woo in. Devin McKinnon, Ray McCants, all those guys are in that 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 30, possibly, right? That one of those guys could be falling within that, right? So, and then you got the Josh Bowmans of the world, the Braden Rivers of the world. Like all these guys in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 backside of the lottery and right outside the lottery, man, it's tough. It's tough.
It sound
it's really hard. It's hard to rank that class. I got to be honest. Hudson Hatfield asked Buckhorn Mae Jemison on Saturday. Will be fun. It will. Now, I think they split on this year also. I think that was a home and home also. Mae Jemison winning at May and then Buckhorn winning. I think that was just last week. We watched that game on live also. I think we watched both of those games on live. We watched the loss by Buckhorn and we watched the win by Buckhorn on live. I'm going Buckhorn because it's tough for me to see the back-to-back 6A state champion go out in the first round.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's also tough for me to see a kid as good as Dakarion Bryant go out in the first round.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he linked up with TJ Pruitt. It's hard for me to see a TJ Pruitt go out in the first round. Now, I will give the edge in that basketball game to Coach Patrick Harding over Coach Pete Miller, because Coach Patrick Harding has been there, done that. This is Coach Pete Miller's first go around the bend, right? So if it's an advantage to be given, I'm going to give the advantage to Coach Patrick Harding in being able to get that team over the hump, because Fred, Jeremiah, Dakarion, TJ, right? Hezekiah on the inside, Lee Garcia shooting it from the outside. So those two teams are evenly matched. They're not evenly matched position-wise because, of course, Mae Jemison has more size than Buckhorn. However, Buckhorn's just been there, done that. And the way Frederick Derrick has been playing over the last month, he has been absolutely lights out. And Jeremiah Wilson, since he signed and got his recruitment out of the way, and you see him playing more relaxed, more comfortable as he's committed to Tusculum, bro, like he's been playing like the Jeremiah we've all known. So he has been killing it out. And you know, he dunked on TJ Pruitt a little bit. Okay, so it's a little something there. They were going back and forth on social media. TJ was talking about the dunk was weak and all that. But yeah, so I think that's going to be a hell of a matchup. I agree, Coach Hatfield.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's going to be a hell of a matchup on Saturday between Mae Jemison and Buckhorn. And it's just, I love playoff time. It just hurts me so bad that somebody has to go home. When you go through these areas, and if we had time tonight, man, we're going to have to come back and do it. But if we had time tonight, I would go through these areas, and I might come back to it because it's something I got to talk about. And I know we kind of got off, and I'm going to get back to these questions in the chat, but we're going to get to what everybody is tuning in for us to talk about, and I might just end the show with that, but we're going to talk about it. But right now, 5A, Williamson size might get them a ring. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's go to 5A real quick. And we've been high on Williamson all year long. And we've watched Williamson several times on tape on NFHS. I probably watched them 8, 9, 10 times this season, right? And I just don't see how they're going to beat Ramsey. I know our guy Drake, when he was at Hoover for the Big Orange, and we were in Huntsville for the Huntsville City Classic, he called me and said Ramsey's in trouble, right? Watching Williamson play, he thought that they had the guard play to really give Ramsey the issues to go along with the size. He said the two big guys in Evans and Johnson weren't even the best players for Williamson. I can't remember number 15's name. Is missing me. A chat, if you got it, let me know. But he was loving the guard play from Williamson. And just from what I've seen from Ramsey, is multiple times I've seen him, and from what I've seen from Williamson, I'm taking Ramsey in that basketball game. I just think Jay Green and Jaden Williams, bro, they are so damn tough, right? Like they love the physicality. So if Williamson was going to come into that game and think their physicality was going to be able to overpower Ramsey, that's not going to happen, because those some dogs out there for Ramsey. Coach Denton Johnson got a bunch of dogs, and they're not going to lay down. So the physicality and size is not going to intimidate Ramsey, is my point, right? It's not going to intimidate Ramsey. And with that being said, they just scored at such a high clip, right? At such a high clip. They can score in multiple ways. I'm just saying, I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, they do got a fast pace on them.
He is. That's what I'm saying. Number 15, I need to get his name. I'm going to pull their roster up real quick because he deserves a name. Yeah, he definitely deserves a name. Let me pull it up real quick. His name is... Is that him, Tyreek Gaines? I think that's him, Tyreek Gaines. Boy, man, Williamson, go clean up your roster, bro. Y'all got 25 number 5s on here, dog. Like, y'all got 40 people on your roster. What is this, man? Like, clean this up. But I think his name is, if this roster is correct, it might be Corian Hawthorne. They got multiple 15s. Is it Corian Hawthorne? I think it's Hawthorne. Y'all will let me know. But yeah, he a dog, bro. So I'm saying I really like them also, but I'll take Ramsey in that basketball game. He said he coached against Ramsey, Williamson, and Gunnersville. He thinks Williamson is the better all-around team. Okay. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take your word for it. And I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I've ranked Williamson number 2 in the state all season long. Right. I had Gunnersville 5, I think, starting off, and I think I moved them up to a highest 3. So, you know, Even when I saw Ramsey struggle early in the season, when we saw them take a lot of losses, remember we had this conversation on air, and we were talking about how, yeah, Ramsey ducked no smoke. And I talked to Coach Denton Johnson about this in Huntsville. We had a conversation about this, and they didn't duck any smoke all season long, right? They played anybody and everybody everywhere. They played the top teams in 7A. They played the top teams in 6A. They played the top teams in 5A. They played top teams in 4A. They have played absolutely everybody this season. They have not ducked smoke. But the problem is they didn't win a lot of those basketball games, right? They didn't beat a lot of those top teams. They didn't beat the Clay Chalkful. They didn't beat the Hoovers. They didn't beat Huntsville High. Like, they didn't beat those top teams. But they played everybody. But right. I think that got them battle tested for when they go up against who they gonna go against. It's gonna be a problem.
Tough skin.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be a problem. So, it's like I say, I don't think Williamson has played a schedule as tough as Ramsey, right? So if it comes down to that, I think Ramsey's more battle tested. But like I say, man, it's gonna be an interesting game, and thank goodness we won't have to worry about that game until we get to Birmingham. Right. That's a game we'll get to see in Birmingham. Right. That's not something that's going to be played extra early. But yeah, speaking of Gunnersville, let's talk about something real quick, man. I'm gonna change the appreciate y'all chat, man, for all the questions and insight, man. Y'all keep them coming. We'll answer some more as they come in. But we want to get to something, man, that happened just the other night in the Gunnersville Albertville game. Breeze, I think you got that video. If you got that video, pull it up for me real quick. Because in my opinion, this has not been covered on a level. Don't get me wrong. Let me say it like this. I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I'm not calling. Okay, well, I'm glad Chill Will saved y'all. Boy, he saved y'all. Yo. Chill.
What's going on?
What up, man? You live on air, man.
What's going on, people?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yes.
All things Alabama. What's up, baby?
What's happening, man? What's good with it, though?
Man, just chilling over here in Greensboro, North Carolina, UNC in North Carolina A&T conference. They ran them out the gym.
Yeah, blew them out, man. We sat, you know, that's how we do on Thursday nights now. We come up to the office a little early, and we sit in the office, and we watch the game. Then we come into the studio and jump on live and record, man. Really good basketball game. We said it, though. We knew that game was going to get out of hand just as the flow of the game was happening. Greedy played really well, though. Another good game, had 6+ assists. Did have 2 turnovers tonight, but I think he could have had upwards of 10 assists if some guys make some shots. Kamari McGriff missed 3 bunnies. That was 3 assists by Greedy, including 1 alley-oop layup. And, I mean, he just put it at the rim. That's all he had to do was dunk it. But he tried to monkey dunk it and missed it. But tell us, it was on the road at North Carolina A&T. Tell us what happened in the gym tonight.
You know, it was a really good basketball. I think UNCW has found their rhythm, found rotation. They're playing about 9 guys. And I think everybody's kind of figured out what they're going to be on that basketball team. You know, they play a lot of high-level basketball, man. They apply a lot of pressure. So it looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking a lot better, man. But yeah, man. So tonight, Chill Will is the last night of the Alabama high school regular season. We're getting a lot of questions in the conversation from the chat about who's gonna win areas, and who we liking for the state champions. And we're gonna wait till you get back in studio to ask you into that question, because we know you out there driving. We hear it in the background. So we'll wait to get your answers when you get it back in studio. But so where y'all headed? Because I know you and Dad out there. Him and my dad rode out today to go catch Greedy at North Carolina A&T. Y'all headed home, or y'all are y'all watching another game this weekend?
No, man, we're gonna spend the night here in Greensboro. Get up, eat some breakfast, just kind of chill out, drop Wilmington, you know, kick it in Wilmington Friday. put our sand and feet on put our feet in the sand on the beach. You know how they go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Saturday we'll catch another conference game and then get out of here Sunday.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So y'all get a whole weekend of basketball, man. Man, y'all be careful out there on that road, man. Tell Dad we said what's up. He with you?
Nah, he already walked up to the room.
Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna say put him on there. But yeah, man. So y'all be careful out there in North Carolina. How far is Wilmington from where y'all at? Greensboro.
Hours.
How many?
It's 3 hours, and I don't understand how that is because Wilmington is 8 from Montgomery.
Yeah.
Greensboro is 6 from Montgomery, but Wilmington is 3 from Greensboro.
Hold on. How is that even possible?
You tell me.
I guess because of the interstates you went out of the way, but it still shouldn't have took you 2 hours out of the way. That don't make sense.
Right.
That's America for you, man. That's America for you. Right? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Well, all right, man. Y'all be careful out there on the road, man. And I'll holler at you a little later on.
Indeed.
There he is, man.
Chill Will.
Chill Will, man. Coach Chill Will on the phone, man, out there. Greensboro, North Carolina, just got done watching North UNCW play North Carolina A&T as they get a big conference win and a huge dub. I think they won by a 30 ball. So they'll be headed back to Wilmington to play this Saturday, and they're gonna be chilling up there for the rest of that time. But yeah, man, back to what it is, man. So big talk on Tuesday. Incident happened between Albertville and Gunnersville at the end of the basketball game. Heated rivalry. If I'm not mistaken, it's an area game. And two competitive teams, right? Two competitive teams. And let's just watch the video. Then we'll talk about it after that. Crazy gonna make up the video. We're gonna watch the video and then. Pros on us.
No, it's playing. I just can't make it live. It's the same screen.
Right. Let's see if I can. I know it's. All right, we try and get it right. While he gets that right, we got a question, another question in it. You know who I'm going with, Breezy?
Who that?
Spring Garden. I'm either gonna go with Spring Garden or Trinity Presbyterian.
Hey,
Right next door.
Garden got that smoke.
Hey, Spring Garden got that smoke. But right next door to us, right here in the studio. Like you're getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's the same as before, really.
Okay. So what we're watching right now is the post game of Albertville and Gunnersville. I can't really see it, but so I can't really walk y'all through. Oh yeah, I do. Let me see if I can pull it up and watch it with y'all. Pull it up and watch it with y'all real quick. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. So as we watch this right now, We are watching Gunnersville versus, and as y'all see, it is a all-out melee on the court. And what started this was when the two coaches shook hands. It was a really hard handshake by the coach from Gunnersville, and he kind of slapped the coach from Albertville on the shoulder after he shook his hand. Coach from Albertville took offense to that, which any grown man probably would, right? Especially after losing a basketball game, right? By 10 points. Anybody will, right? So that, as they did that, he slapped him on the shoulder. He turned to confront him about it. Words were exchanged. You can keep playing it, Breeze. You can let it roll while we up. Words were exchanged between the two. Now, if you watch this video, when they come together, the players come, or it was the other way around. I can't see the video. So yeah, tell me what's going on. I'm kind of in the dark on it. So one coach slapped the other coach on the shoulder. I think it's coming up right here. Yeah, right there. And he took offense, and he went to confront him about it. He confronted him. There goes and then the melee happens, and the punches are thrown, right? Punches are thrown. They're fighting. They're tussling on the ground. The melee has ensued. The stands have cleared. Everybody's on the court. Everybody's fighting or trying to break up the fight, which is, in my opinion, viral video, right? However, this video is not circulated like you would think it would have because of.
And no,
I'm just saying. Okay, so the Albertville coach slapped the Gunnersville coach on the shoulder. Okay, thank you for that clarification. I am Carter 2K31. Thank you for that clarification. Right? So Gunnersville went up 10 with 10 seconds left. Gunnersville called a timeout to get the crowd hyped. It's a rivalry game. Those type of things are going to happen. So y'all know me and my sportsmanship type thing. I ain't all for that. I'm the one who don't even agree with the handshake line at the end of the game. I've been saying let's cut out handshake lines because too many things like this incident can happen in post-game handshake lines, especially when you just got done exchange, elbows were exchanged, all of this. Right? It's tension. Why are we slapping hands at the beginning of the game? I understand people going to say, well, you should be able to compete and then. Well, no, I don't want to talk to you after the game when I lose. I'm entitled to that. That's not bad sportsmanship. That's just, I don't want to talk to my opponent after the game. I digress. So, after all that happened, but I know I'm not because even though I'm wrong, I'm still right because I'm right because I'm wrong. You know how that go, right, Breezy?
Yeah, because you could have been right.
I could have been. No, I might be wrong. I said it because I could have been right at the time. So I'm gonna say it like this. Let that have been. I'm gonna go all the way up and down the map. Well, for a little while, just to make my point. I think this video is not getting the attention that it otherwise would have been getting if the teams, the area, and the coaches were different.
Now, that is a fact.
If the teams, the area, and I mean the area as in the community, and the coaches were different.
Big fact.
If those three elements were different, this would be a different situation. And let me tell you how I have evidence of the such. We just watched that video and we watched everybody come out of the stands and start fighting, right? We don't know who was fighting. We don't know who was peacemakers because it was a melee, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to rewind you to, I don't even know the particular year, but it was a while ago, several years ago. And Carver Montgomery got to fighting in a game in the Acadome at Alabama State during a regional. The stands were cleared in that basketball game, and everybody was fighting, just like we just watched, right? Carver had players suspended. Carver had their season forfeited, and they were the favorite to win the state championship that year. They had games, if I'm not mistaken, kids were suspended for the next year. And I don't think Carver could participate in the state championship the year after that. I think they suspended them for the next year. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, right? If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. However, they had that. It was the equivalent of the NCAA death penalty that they put on Carver for a extremely similar situation.
Right.
Let me pull this back. Let me go here. Just say that would have been Coach Jeremy Crutcher and Coach Frankie Sullivan at Hazel Green and James Clemens, two rival area schools who have tension between them. Let Coach Frankie Sullivan and Coach Jeremy Crutcher have that moment that those two coaches just had. Two black coaches, but here's the twist on that. Those are two diverse communities and student bodies, right? Two black coaches, but two diverse communities and student bodies. Let's bring it down some. Let's just say that was Pinson and Clay, Coach Richardson and Coach Barber, and that happened. Oh my God, it would have been a firestorm.
SWAT team outside.
If that was if that happened in Pinson Valley the other night, and the crowd's clear and everybody's fighting, and it's because Coach Richardson and Coach Barber did what they did to invoke the melee, it would be completely different. Let's bring it down some more. Say you come here to Montgomery. Say that's Coach Sprouse at Carver Montgomery and Coach B.J. Johnson over at Percy Julian, formerly Lee High School, Robert E. Lee High School. Imagine if it was those two coaches, and in Montgomery, those stands clear and that melee ensues. Let me flip it up on you a little bit. Let's say that is Coach who let me see who I want. Let's just say it's Coach Charvez Davis at Jag, or Coach Jeremy Bynum at Dothan, and he does that with just say Courtney Ward, a female coach at Park Crossing. Say something like that happens between them, bro. It's every 4-letter and 3-letter media outlet in America. That is 100% national headline news if that happens between two black coaches at two black programs in the state of Alabama. Let that be Coach Barber and Coach Richardson at Clay and Pinson. Let that be Coach Johnson and Coach Sprouse at Carver Montgomery and Percy Julian. Let that happen to LaFleur and man, stop it. It would be headline news, and those programs would have the Thor's hammer would be dropped on those programs if they did what we just watched on this video several times. Thor's hammer would be dropped from the Alabama High School Athletic Association on those programs. Now, I'm not sitting here race baiting, bro. Don't even go there. I'm just telling you how it's a different dynamic when the people look different. When the people look different, it's a different dynamic. I even heard, bro, I had a conversation with somebody, and guess what they told me? Oh, they were just showing passion. Bro, they started fighting. They insisted on melee. And you telling me, oh, they were just passionate? That was no damn passion. Stop it. Why do we always have to hedge the bet when the people look different? They were wrong. And we should, I get it. I'm one of the only platforms that talks about what we're talking about right now. You're not going to see this on local news. You're not going to see this on other publications. We might be the only platform in the state of Alabama that covers the game of basketball the way we do. I've asked y'all several times, if it's others out there, let me know. I'd love to support them. But we're probably the only platform that covers these things the way we do. We're the only ones that cover high school basketball the way we do, right? We're in our own lane with this. So my point is, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say what everybody else don't want to say. If those were two black coaches at two black programs in the state of Alabama, it would be a damn firestorm.
True. Facts.
A firestorm. Now, am I sitting here calling for Guntersville or Albertville to have their seasons forfeited or the coaches and players be suspended? No, I'm not. I'm not. That's not what I'm calling for. I'm not even calling for anything. Actually, I'm just calling out the fact that it's a lack of coverage of the situation. I'm not saying the Alabama High School Athletic Association isn't going to drop Thor's hammer on those programs. They still just might, because what I'm hearing is it still might happen. From sources that I spoke to that are with the Alabama High School Athletic Association, some thunder's still coming from what I've been told, in my opinion, from what I've been told, and it could be incorrect information, but I trust the source. From what I've been told, thunders could still be coming.
They're going to have to do something.
They can't do nothing. And now I get it. Guntersville is one of the top 3 programs in Class 5A who is vying for a state championship. Could this derail their state championship chances? Yes. And here's my thing about it, bro. I'm not here. I don't want to see any seniors lose their opportunity to play. A lot of seniors played their last high school basketball game tonight, bro. It is kids that will graduate in the class of 2025 that will never, ever, 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 ever play basketball again. Friday, Saturday, in these first round of these area tournaments, it's going to be guys that lose. It's going to be teams that lose, and it's going to be seniors on those basketball teams that are never, ever, ever suit up and play another organized basketball game in their life. Matter of fact, majority, probably upwards of 80, 90% of them won't ever play again. So I get it. I'm not calling for anybody to lose their dream. No, I'm not doing that. But what I am doing is calling out the lack of the coverage, the lack of transparency. Like, come out and make a statement. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen it, but nobody said nothing. That's the issue I have with it. If it was anybody else, like I said, I'd have given y'all several examples of if it was those two coaches had that exact same incident and caused the exact same outcome that we just watched between Guntersville and Albertville on Tuesday night. Bro, firestorm, TMZ, Shade Room, Say Cheese, ABC, CBS, Fox, CNN, HLN, Sports Center, ESPN, everybody, Slam High School, Sports Illustrated, everybody in America would have been talking about it. It would have been a viral video with millions and millions of views. And it's two things that bother me on that, Breezy. The lack of coverage, which I already mentioned, and then it lets you know the mentality of the culture that we live in. And I'm kind of off the basketball tip right now. The culture of our culture, how it glorifies negativity. It glorifies negativity. Let's be honest, those are two white coaches. It doesn't resonate to the culture that would make it go viral. It don't resonate to Say Cheese. It don't resonate to Shade Room. It don't resonate to World Star. Those publications, blog sites aren't going to pick it up. And then since it's not black coaches, TMZ, CNN, Fox, ABC, the Today Show, Today and although they're not going to pick it up. So that's the issue that I have with it. If we're going to call a spade, call a spade a spade. That was wrong. Why nobody screaming at the heavens saying that was wrong. Because if it was Crutcher and Sullivan, it would be fire. Straight fire. And everybody would be talking about it. And neither one of those teams, in my opinion, would be playing in the playoffs. Neither one of them would be playing in their area tournaments, fighting for a state championship if that would have had to been somebody else. Point blank. And I can be absolutely, completely wrong, but I don't give a damn because I'm right. Because I'm right. And if anybody think I'm wrong, 334-209-5222. Call in and let me know. Call in and let me know. Because I've spoken to hundreds. Breezy. Our the story post we put up today, what it was like, 800 and something?
It was up though.
And yesterday, when I put out the original post on it, and I asked the question, did y'all want to hear what we had to say about it? There was over 100 replies of, let's talk about it. Yes, let's talk about it, right? And I'm going to be transparent. It was white, it was black, it was all races were chiming in. It was coaches, high school, it was coaches in college. I had referees chiming in, telling me, oh yeah, we need to talk about it, right? Because the referees were in the melee, right? That's why I tell you, they need to cut out the post-game handshake. What is good coming out of the post-game handshake? And everybody say, oh, well, this type of stuff doesn't happen often. Well, it happens. If something is possible to happen and you have a way to prevent it, why not just prevent it? How about what do I say all the time? Be proactive, not reactive. And by continuing to do it, and then when something happens, saying, oh, that's reactive. Because we can be proactive. And just cut it out. Wave at each other. Go your separate ways.
Chalk the deuce.
Chalk the deuce. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Chalk the deuce.
I agree, Coach Q. You know I ain't politically correct either, but if it were two black programs, it would be on CNN. Facts. Facts. It would be on every 3-letter and 4-letter network in the state. Right? And it's unfortunate that it even happened. And now the chat explained why it happened. Right? I'm gonna get to your question in a second, Coach Q. Once I finish this little point, because I'm really sick of talking about this too. But I'm interested to see what's gonna happen, and I just want to let y'all know that we know why nothing's being said, why nothing's being talked about, and why this is basically being swept up under the rug. We ain't blind, y'all. We can see, and this platform, iBall Radio, would be remiss if we didn't say nothing, because it's our job. We the voice. If we gonna call ourselves the voice of the people, the voice of the streets, the voice of Alabama basketball, Alabama high school basketball, if we're gonna be the voice, we got to talk about it. And if anybody don't like it, I don't care. Sue me. But I got a question in the chat. If no one is upset and Hoover and Central end up playing for the state title again, does this Central team present a better challenge than 2 years ago? That's a great question, Coach Q. Do they present a better challenge? Yes, because even 2 years ago when they played the state championship game, I think Jacoby Hill had 36 points or something. Like he went on a 30-point run, the same as in the Final Four that 2 years ago. Jacoby Hill went on the same type of run that Caleb Holt went on. Caleb Holt just won the state championship that year. I think Caleb Holt had a 33-15 game and a 38-18 game to win the state championship. Some crazy. He had like stupid, crazy numbers. But I remember that year also that Jacoby went crazy. He had 2 30-point games because he ended up getting an offer because Coach Petway was still at Alabama, and he ended up getting an offer from Alabama there. Oh, we got a call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, I missed it. Golly. Call right back. Call right back. I missed it. See if the caller call back. But yeah, do they present a better problem? Maybe. I just think I love the athletes and the wings that they have, that Central has. Like I think I put up just 2 days ago. Central Phoenix City is really, really good. Hoover is just remarkable. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. They are absolutely remarkable. It's hard for me to sit here and confidently say that anybody's gonna beat Hoover. Now, I can give reasons of why I like Huntsville High, or why I like Central Phoenix City, or why I like Dothan. I can give you all of those things. However, if I had to handicap it, I'm putting Hoover at -300. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. Everybody else, I'm putting in the plus column. I think I said this before on the air. I think I would like Huntsville High, second best odds. I'll probably put them at a there it is. See, we didn't get that last time I got the call. Caller, what's your name? Where you? Oh, I got to accept it. I'm sorry, I got to accept it. There it is. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Huntsville.
Oh, there he is, man. We were waiting on you tonight, our guy. That's our guy, Lance, calling from Huntsville. What you got for us tonight, Lance?
Man, you're exactly right about everything you're saying about what happened between two teams, Gunnersville and Albertville. And in my opinion, accountability is accountability, regardless of anything else. So I don't care ethnicity you are, I don't care age, I don't care your gender. There is a standard, rules, there are things in place that you have to be held accountable to, and I think it's important that especially the state of Alabama High School Athletic Association does the right thing. I think that if you don't, then shame you.
Right. If they don't do anything, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't want them to have to do anything. But if they don't, they're setting a precedent. And if they don't do anything, and if this happens anywhere else, and it's a different outcome or a different and I know every situation has its own challenges, right? No situation is the same. However, when you go to the court of law, they got merit, right? Like they'll pull up a reference of according to this is why we're ruling this way, right? And if they do that, they're setting a precedent that they're not going to punish anybody, right? They're not going to do anything.
Right.
And but we know in the past they've done stuff. And if they don't do anything now, they're going to handicap and handcuff themselves for the future. So I'm not saying kick them out the playoffs, but something has to happen. Something has to happen.
Well, this is what, and I'm not sure what the difference is, because I was fully involved in when I played. We got a rival, Johnson School, and got in a fight with them really bad after a game. The game's over. And the reason why they said they were not going to punish the players or anybody, because the game was already over. It was no longer under the guise of sports, if you will. That was under, however, if you will, the school district or something like that wanted to handle it. Now, I know, at what point quote, the game is called over if that's going to have something to play with it. No, and now this in the 90s, obviously.
Right.
But I know that was how they ruled. They just, like you said, swept it on the rug, if you will, because it was, unquote, after the sports activity had ended.
So since the regulation had ended and the game and the sporting event had ended, they ruled that it wasn't during the basketball game, so wasn't any suspensions or anything to be had unless it came down from the school district.
That's what they did in a situation back in the. I don't know exactly what the letter of the law is, but that's what they said.
Okay, so which listen, I get that part. You know, that is red tape, so to speak, right? That's the gray area, right? Like, I get it. Everything has a loophole. That's the loophole. That's the word I was looking for. That's the loophole.
If I remember, the Harvard League game, that was like during the event, right? Like play was actually happening. Like the game, there was still time on the clock.
Yeah, time was still on the clock.
And I remember them. I remember asking somebody when that happened, if I remember correctly. Now I could be wrong, but asking somebody what was the difference between what happened with us back in '94 and versus that, and they said, there was still time on the clock per se.
Okay, so if that's the case, well, that's the precedent they're going to use. Nothing's going to happen. Listen, you just answered it.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what the letter of the law is, so I'd have to look to be able to.
Right, I don't know the bylaws.
Speaking from experience, how that played out.
Right, and like I say, so that's another good reference point.
There needs to be accountability. Period.
It does, and if they don't, it opens up the door. It opens up Pandora's box for people to draw their own conclusions, and that's what you don't want. You don't want the masses, the general public, drawing their own conclusions on why you ruled or not ruling in a certain way. Now, I mentioned earlier that no statement has been made. Nothing has been said from anybody about the situation, right? Like, no one has come out and said, hey, we're looking at it. This is under investigation. We've talked about blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm pretty sure, and I spoke to somebody yesterday about
You would expect, since that's Marshall County School District, that somebody from Marshall County's board or something like that, that's again, holding them accountable to say something.
Right. And could they have said something, since I'm not in that area? Could they have said something? But I'm gonna tell you what I do. We got the privilege, we got the privilege of having every single news station in the state of Alabama. Right? I can watch the news in every single city and county in the state of Alabama. And I have been watching the news in that area, and I've seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless I missed that report in that newscast, I didn't see anything about it. So that's the issue I'm having with it.
For a second, there's two people that I'd like to honor on the call. One is Rockhold, who was part of the Butler girls programs when they were on the Wheaties and won the national championship many years ago. He passed away this week. And the other, Sammy Jackson, and him, many know him coaching at Auburn, Alabama, and Tennessee, and Fort Bend State, and all places that he coached at and played in the CBA and all that. And both of those wonderful folks have passed away this week, and we lost some of those two guys.
Yeah, and speaking on Coach Sammy Jackson, man, Lance, I just remember we've been over the last year, we've been telling the stories of how we used to come up to Huntsville back in those days and play with your dad for the Alabama Aces. If I'm not mistaken, that was around the first time I ever met Sammy Jackson, right? Is during those.
Probably so, because he's the older Aces team, which was Howard Pride and Greg Grimsley and that bunch.
See, and so like those were my, and then as time went on and he, his coaching career took him to several different spots. We were always running to Sammy, and it had become like I was this little brother, right? Like he would always, boy, what's up, right? And even when he was at Alabama A&M for a little while, he was like, "You coming to play for me? You coming to?" And I was like, "Man, I'm not coming to Alabama A&M," right? Like that's what I was like at the time. I'm like, I ain't going to Alabama A&M. So, but and I probably should have went. Now that I talk about it, I probably should have took that offer. But just knowing Sammy and knowing the type of person he was, and for him to tragically lose his life in this manner, it is sad. Our condolences go out to his family, to his loved ones, to the basketball community, to the Huntsville basketball community. Because like you say, we lost a true legend of the game in the state of Alabama by losing Coach Sammy Jackson this week. And like I say, our hearts and prayers go out to all who knew him and loved him. And it's very sad situation. And not much. It's not much you can really say about that. But like I say, for somebody as great as he was, he deserves all the praise that he's getting right now.
Absolutely. I remember meeting for the first time in the gym, and he had just retired playing professional, and he could still just jump the gym.
Dude,
and
I was just about to say that.
Wrote a little thing, and I said the thing that I'll remember is his how that would light up a room like nobody else, and he always just had this calmness, gentleness about the way that he spoke to people, and tenderness in voice that just could anything. It was amazing. And then just he had this dunk that he would off the wall, and just all the athletic. I mean, I had not seen anything like that at that time.
Ever. And where did Sammy play college ball at?
Montevallo.
I remember we were in I think we were in Grissom's gym this weekend for Aces practice, and he was there, and he did the throw the ball off the wall, caught it, and dunked it. And bro, that was like one of the first times I'd ever seen somebody up close do something like that. And that's what I was going. Sammy Jackson could jump out of the gym. I mean, incredible bounce, exceptional athlete, and like I say, just an all-around exceptional person. And he will be missed on this earth going forward.
Absolutely. Well, the area stuff that's exciting.
It really is, man, and it's a lot out there.
The area matchups are out for the most.
And like I say, they area tournaments begin on tomorrow and will be played throughout the weekend. We will be back on Monday to recap the weekend, so we'll have all the area matchups and how they played out. We did get clarification though. Coach Hatfield from either Coach Hatfield or one of the coaches over at Columbia sent me a message, and they explained to me, it was after we got off air. They explained how the 5-team area works. So it's basically a play-in game. 2 teams will do the play-in,
right,
and then the winner goes on to meet number 1, and then they play the first round, right? So
Hazel Green won the coin flip.
Yeah, Hazel Green won the coin flip, so they'll host that area. It's gonna be, I think that's 6A area 16. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be extremely interesting. I'm anxious to see who's gonna pull it out. And we talked about it earlier. The Mae Jemison Buckhorn matchup. Somebody's going home early. Who would it be?
Hey, I have to go buy some popcorn tomorrow.
No doubt about it, man. That's gonna be a great matchup on Saturday. We will be locked in for it, man. But Lance, what else you got for us tonight, my guy?
That's it, man. I'm on this road. You know how I am. Trying to get up and go to bed.
Already, man. Hey, man, appreciate you tapping in, man. Be careful out there on that road. And of course, man, we'll chop it up over the weekend. And of course, back on air Monday night.
Yep. Be good.
No doubt, man. There he is, man. Our guy Lance from Huntsville out there traveling on that road. Great points, man. But like I say, man, I'm glad he did mention Sammy Jackson, man. Great person, great dude. Really gonna miss him. I hadn't seen him in years, but I guarantee if I was to see him, it would have been like it was no time had passed. Like he saw me as I was 9, 10, 11 years old, right? And got a chance to see him throughout the years, man. And tragic situation out there in Georgia. And like I say, our condolences and go out to his family. But Breezy, man, I think we had a full show tonight. It was something I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it. Oh, I did talk about it. Play your 30 games. Play your 30 games, right? And we're gonna watch this Albertville, Gunnersville situation closely. And we'll be back on Monday. And we might have a little special something throughout the weekend since areas are jumping off tomorrow. Tonight was the last night of the regular season. And before we go, Breezy, I do want to say this, man. I mentioned y'all earlier, but I do want to give you a salute and a shout out. I want to shout out all the class of 2025 Hoopers in the state of Alabama. If you're graduating in the class of 2025, this is your senior year, I want to say thank you to y'all because your contribution to Alabama high school basketball will not be forgotten, right? Everybody won't be a legend. Everybody won't be talked about after all. But I know these memory stories and these experiences that you have garnered over your high school career. Some of y'all have been playing this game since you were 3, 4, and 5 years old. And for it to come to fruition at this point, a lot of senior nights were happening tonight. I know Huntsville High had their senior night tonight. I know several other teams had their senior nights come or have had them already. So I just want to give a shout out to all you class of 2025 Hoopers, man. Your legacy has been set in the state of Alabama. And we appreciate all your contributions. And we wish you well going forward in any endeavor that you do in life, man. iBall Radio is always here for the class of 2025, just like we are for any other class that has already passed through here. Whoever want to come back and holler at us, we always let them do, man. So I just want to shout out the class of 2025 of the state of Alabama high school Hoopers. Salute to y'all. Appreciate it. Breezy, run the music, man. Let's get up out of here. That's right, man. That will do it for tonight's episode of the iBall Radio Live Call-In Show. Appreciate all y'all who tapped in. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all kept us live tonight. Thanks for all the questions. Y'all know I'm gonna always have an answer, right? If you got a question, I'm gonna have an answer. And if I don't, I'm gonna find the answer for you. But shout out to all of y'all out there in the world, man. What up, Marcus? That's Marcus Perry Jr. from Oxford tapping in. What up, Marcus? One of the top players in the class of 2027 also right there. So yeah, man, appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. We talked about a lot, man. If I hurt your feelings, I don't give a damn. Who cares? Get some tougher skin. It is what it is. But Breezy, man, we're gonna get up out of here for the night. Follow us on iBallRadio.com. Follow Breezy at Breezy387 on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. All at iBall Radio. And go subscribe to iBallRadio.com. Go subscribe to the website. And go fill out your player card. Any hoopers out there that are hooping right now, go fill out your player cards on iBallRadio.com. Click on player card, get it in. Player database is loading up. Hey, I want to shout out Dogwood Media Solutions. They're getting the website right. We fired GoDaddy. We got Dogwood Media Solutions. So shout out to Brett and Brian over at Dogwood. No, they don't sponsor us. I'm just giving them a shout out. So shout out to them for hooking up the website. They're getting us together. So go fill out your player card and go subscribe to the website at iBallRadio.com. Breezy, holler at these folks, man.
Yeah, it's your boy Breezy. You know it's your boy Breezy, and it ain't me.
You messed that all up. You out of it. And hey, they call me coach because I teach you how to ball. Until next week, man. Unless y'all see us over the weekend for something special. We out. Peace. Long live Hero.
Go.